Jasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallava Girivaradhari Jasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallava Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallava Girivaradhari Jasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivastikacharya His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Jai Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 8, Text 35. Tamalokya sura sarve kalasham shamrata-bhritam lipsyanta sarva vastuni kalasham tarasaharam tamalokya sura sarve kalashan samrita-bhritam lipsyanta sarva vastuni kalasham tarasaharam tamalokya sura sarve kalasham samrita vritam Lipshanta sarva vastuni kalasham tarashaharan. Getting the joke. You want to try? Ladies? Immediately, Aharan snatched away. Translation: upon seeing Dhanvantari carrying the Thank you. When the jug of nectar was carried away off by the demons, the demigods were morose. Thus, they sought shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Next verse. Iti tadanyam alokya bhagavan vritta kamakrit ma kityata mito artham va sadayasya swa mayaya. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who always desires to fulfill the ambitions of his devotees, saw that the demigods were morose, he said to them, "Do not be aggrieved. By my own energy, I shall beguile the demons by creating a quarrel among them. In this way, I shall fulfill your desire to have the nectar." Next verse with the purport. Me tu kalir abhutesham tad arta tarsha chetasham aham purvam natvam iti prabho. O king, a quarrel then arose among the demons over who would get the nectar first. Each of them said, "You cannot drink it first. I must drink it first. Me first, not you." Purport. This is the symptom of demons. The first concern of a non-devotee is how to enjoy his personal sense gratification at once, whereas the devotee's first concern is to satisfy the Lord. This is the distinction between the non-devotee and the devotee. In this material world, since most people are non-devotees, they regularly compete, fight, disagree, and war among themselves. For everyone wants to enjoy and satisfy his own senses. Therefore, unless such demons become Krishna conscious and are trained to satisfy the senses of the Lord, there can be no question of peace in human society or any society, even that of the demigods. The demigods and devotees, however, always surrender to the lotus feet of the Lord, and thus the Lord is always anxious to satisfy their ambitions. While the demons fight to satisfy their own senses, the devotees engage in devotional service to satisfy the senses of the Lord. The members of the Krishna consciousness movement must be alert in regard to this point, and then their preaching of Krishna consciousness movement will be successful. So we are living in the material world, and the reason why we're in the material world because of the different interest. Because in the material world we have our own interest, that of the interest from the Lord Krishna. This is why Krishna created this material world. And it is said that demons and devotees, they always exist. Sura and Asura. And very quality of the demons is that they want to be the center of everything. This is the why they snatched away the nectar before the demigods, because they wanted to have it for themselves. But actually, the quality of a devotee is that they want to share. They want to distribute. If something that very valuable, that they should share with others. That's the quality of a devotee. But those who are not devotees, it's mentioned here, that they like to have it for themselves. Even among their own people, they will fight among themselves because they want to have it for themselves and not with others. And there's always ambitions. And ambition of a devotee is to see how we can please Krishna. That's what Prabhupada says here, the senses of the Lord, senses of Krishna. Just like a devotee, when he sees a beautiful flower, they want to offer to Krishna. Like we have the garden here, and they're writing in the garden, do not touch or take this flower, this is for Krishna. This is the mentality of a devotee. We want to give the best for Krishna. Everything we see, the best, is to be offered to Krishna. How we can please Krishna? Because ultimately, we know that the purpose of Krishna's creation is actually meant for His pleasure. We take it for ourselves. The members of the Krishna consciousness movement, Prabhupada says here, must be alert in regard to this point. And then their preaching of Krishna consciousness movement will be successful. Even as devotees, we can get carried away when we see something very nice we want it for ourselves. That we forget actually it is for preaching, it is for Krishna. Just like we travel, we need to travel bus or train, airplane, in your own car. And it should be very comfortable, so you can travel nicely, so your body is healthy. But we are thinking that all this facility is there because we can enhance ourselves to serve Krishna, not for ourselves. Just like Srila Prabhupada was traveling all over the world. He took these things, he was traveling in the airplane, in the first class, because he was doing it for preaching, not for himself. Srila Prabhupada was an elderly man, and he needed good facility that his disciple offered to him. He accepted on behalf of his guru to preach, to offer back to Krishna. So when we take these things for ourselves, material facilities that come along in preaching Krishna consciousness, we should not become attached to it, because we know this is actually ultimately meant for preaching. Just like when you have foodstuff offered to Krishna, first-class foodstuff, then we offer back to people as prasadam. We don't take it for ourselves. We take it a little bit, but it's actually for preaching purposes. We accept this facility to expand our Krishna consciousness. That's the idea. That's why Prabhupada says here, members of the Krishna consciousness movement must be alert in regard to this point. Because then what happens when all the facility comes along, when he's serving Krishna, we should not become attached to it, because we know these things are there, Krishna has provided us, so we can serve Krishna. So when people, if you are in the side of the road, who is going to come to Krishna consciousness? But if we have the temple, we have the facilities, then you can accommodate for preaching purposes. But for ourselves, we should not become attached to it. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took sannyas. Because in India, people, they respect sannyasis, they respect people who are wearing saffron, they are renounced. So he took sannyas so that he can spread Krishna consciousness, people who listen to him. That's the idea. The idea behind all the facility that we have is for serving Krishna. Whether they have big temple or a small temple, there's a big talk about having more temples. If we can have this temple, everyone, every day of the week, people are crazy to come in here and it's packed, then of course we need a new temple. It's only on a festival day where everyone's saying we need more temples. But whatever it is, we need to be Krishna conscious ourselves, temple or no temple. Krishna is in the heart of all the living entities. So the demons, they always think how they can be the center of everything. They have to be careful, because that can creep in into our own mind also, that we become the center of everything. I am the president, I am the kirtan leader, I am the cook. You know, this goes on and on. I am this, I am that. This is materialistic mentality. We should know that it's all done by Krishna's mercy. If it wasn't for Srila Prabhupada, we wouldn't have anything. None of this facility that we have today, all over the world. I just came back from Fiji. You know, they have hundreds of devotees. And they said they have more than 300 islands. Of course, they have main islands. And each of these islands, some of these islands is uninhabited. Because the whole country, not even 1 million people. 900,000 people. When you go to Harinam, it's like one person walk by. And where is everybody? And here we have hundreds of people. And how many are in the Bhagavatam class? Hare. So, it was so ecstatic that we had devotees from all over the world, from America, from India, all over Fiji, from Australia, New Zealand, countries nearby, some from Europe. And it was really, really nice, because usually we have these festivals like in India, Mayapur or Vrindavan. This was in Fiji. So we had local people and organized by Fijian devotees, by Tamil Krishna Maharaj's disciples, because he wanted it in the beginning, so 10 days of festival. And we had, and in Fiji it's like in India, very hot, papaya, mangoes, pineapple, and like all the tropical fruits, and vegetables there is like unlimited. There's forest everywhere, and you see the cows, and you see in India the cows, you can see the bones. There's hardly any, grass to eat. But there's so much grass, you can only see grass and a few cows, and they're inside the grass. They're eating all day and sleep there. It's just so much food. And no one in the country is like, you don't see anybody in the street begging. They're all fat because there's so much food there. No one goes hungry. There's less than 1 million people. And we're eating every day papaya, pineapple, and it's so sweet. And here they have papayas this size, and there's no taste. I don't know what they do to it. They call it Hawaii papaya, the small ones, and pineapple, they're all small, but they're so tasty. When you cut it, you can smell it from the side, down the road. And it's so fragrant. And feast every day, 3 times a day. And there's just only 200 to 300 devotees. And we had Harinam every day, and it's so hot. Every day, 36 degree, 30 plus degree. So hot. And you have to wear sunglasses, hat, everything. I could only go out for like 10 minutes. It's just boiling hot. And not like here, the heat's different. You don't feel skin's burning. We just get darker, but it doesn't burn you. So if you're born in Fiji, it's like really, really dark people, even Indians. But they're really nice people. So Krishna consciousness is going on everywhere. So we had this, my point is, we had this festival, and they had such good prasadam every time. So every devotee was so satisfied. Just festival every day for 10 days. So this is what happens in the spiritual world. So it's mentioned here, nectar. We have to wait for nectar to come out of the ocean. You're churning, and the nectar comes. Every bite of prasadam is nectar in the Hare Krishna movement. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have nectar. Every temple, you have nectar. Whenever you drink Charnamrita, that's nectar. You don't have to churn it to bring it out of the ocean. That's nectar. Sometimes devotees, they bring their cup, and they fill up what's left in the bowl, Charnamrita. That's nectar. I remember I grew up in Mayapur. They didn't have Charnamrita like here. There's water with sugar in it. And even at the end of the day, they still have it left over because nobody want to drink, just water with sugar. Here, Charnamrita is like cream and milk and cream and honey. It doesn't last too long. But half the day, it's already gone because you come with a cup and they take it away. And if they have Charnamrita like this in India, it wouldn't last too long because people take like 3 spoons of it. So this is nectar. And so whenever you come to a temple, this Amrita, when you chant Hare Krishna, it's Amrita, it's nectar, because the holy name is nectarian. Suddenly it's fighting over what? I don't understand. The demons and devotees, they're fighting over nectar. But we don't fight over nectar because every time we chant Hare Krishna is nectar. Every time we take prasadam is nectar. But of course this is special nectar. So it's mentioned here that the suras, the demigods, they prayed to Vishnu, Krishna, to get the nectar back from the demons. So that's why Krishna says, don't worry, he made an arrangement that the demons will fight among themselves. And then Krishna will take the nectar away and give it to the devotees. And sometimes even devotees, they are looking at each other's plate and they're fighting over, like you have a rasgulla, I don't have it. You have a burfi, I don't have it. Isn't it? Doesn't happen here because we have too much. So if you go to some countries, they don't have enough. They have enough now, but if there's some special prasadam, they're fighting over it. And I remember even myself, I had to make a plan how to steal the prasadam. Because those who didn't get enough, I had to make a plan to steal it. I was really good at it. Like if you are a good thief, that thief, a devotee, can be a good thief. Because we are trained in the Hare Krishna movement to steal things. Better not to steal, just steal prasadam is okay, but don't steal other things. Don't steal clothing or money, that'll be Vaishnava aparad, or you're stealing from a brahmana. But if you take prasadam, maybe you're okay. And I remember in Vrindavan, if you want to steal the Mangalarti sweets, you have to make a plan one year, because it's not easy to get it. It all goes to the sannyasis, and there's always someone there. In India, there's no place you can hide. There's always people around. Everywhere you look, there's somebody somewhere. There's so many people there. So we had to make a plan how to steal the Mangalarti sweets, because once a year, when you have the Janmashtami, people all go to sleep. They didn't even get up for Mangalarti because they had a late program till after 12 midnight. That's the day we could go and get the Mangalarti sweets, because everybody is asleep, except even the guy who's transferring the DD plate. We take it all. So I would arrange that we had one person taking it, another person, someone down the road checking if anyone coming, another one way down the road. And we take all of it. Every year it disappears. And they made plan to catch them, but because they had such late night, they would forget, and they go to sleep, and I would take it. So, if you pray to Krishna to serve Krishna nicely, even for material things, Krishna will give you if you want. Krishna is a provider. Especially Krishna gives to his devotees when we ask Krishna for even material things. Why not? Krishna is the owner of everything. Krishna does not only give you love of God, he especially gives material things. Because love of God is for pure devotees. We're not pure devotees. We're just beginners. So Krishna will give you. That's why when somebody joined the Hare Krishna movement, they love the prasadam. They have a huge plate. And nobody complains. Because the rest of the year, before they become a devotee, they were eating practically nothing. So here they are. So Prabhupada made arrangements. When we become Krishna's devotee, give them as much as they want to eat. Fill them up. So they have a chance to eat somewhere else. Only prasadam. Of course, after 20 years, 30 years, then you go on a diet because you can't eat anymore. Your body can't handle it. That's why all the sannyasis, when they first joined, they used to eat heaps. All this prasadam went to the sannyasis. Now, they're all on a diet. They had too much. Dying from sickness. We're not the enjoyer. But that's the mentality of a non-devotee. They want everything for themselves, isn't it? Even you see corruption, unlimited corruption. They have so much money, and they're still unhappy. They still want more. I heard in India, I don't know about now, before I heard in India, if you want to have a job, it wasn't easy to find a job because the job was only shared among themselves, friends. You have to pay money to get a job. Is that true? And here they have, in Australia, they have employment. They help people to get a job. In India, they have employment. You have to pay them to get a job. So it's all inside. But Krishna's devotee, they are very free. They don't want anything for themselves. They're very wealthy, but they always want to share with others. They serve the prasadam, they only eat what's left over in the bucket. That's because they renounce. Renunciation is a very attractive quality of a devotee. That's what sannyasi means. Renounce. Renounce everything. Wear a cloth. Tridandi sannyasi. Tridandi means the 3 sticks. They carry that Tridandi sticks. It means they surrender to their body, mind, and their words. They don't speak nonsense. They don't speak about Krishna. That's not easy, because people always want to talk, isn't it? You say to yourself, from today I only want to talk about Krishna. That's not easy. Only you talk about Krishna when you're reading Prabhupada's books or in the Bhagavatam class. The rest of the day, you're talking about yourself or someone else or something or the other. So, austerity of the tongue is to only speak of Krishna. And the mind, kai, mana, bhakya. And the body, associate with devotees. We don't associate with devotees all day, only while we are in the temple. All day we are associating with non-devotee in a workplace. And mind, of course the mind is, it's totally crazy. If your mind is not under your control, then you become madmen. It all starts with your mind. Mind is the sitting place of all the senses. So if you have your mind under the control, then you can control your body. Because mind will tell you, ye karo, wo karo. Jump here, do that, eat this, eat that. It's like you're haunted by a ghost. Go through the wall, walk through the ocean. You kill yourself, no worries. That's what the mind will tell you. That's why you have to control the mind, then you can control your body. So the demons, before I used to think a demon means people has like horns coming out of their head and they're ugly. That's what I thought of demons. Ugly body and teeth coming out. Asura. But that is, demon can be also someone who is looking good. When they talk, you can see what they are, what type of person they are. They say in Bengali, pagale kina bale, shagale kina khai. You heard that before? Pagal, a crazy man, will say whatever. You can see that here, so many people just talking to themselves on the street. And a goat will eat anything. I don't believe that, because I used to have a goat. He only ate jackfruit leaves. He wouldn't leave other leaves. They're selective. But crazy man will say anything. When I lived in China for many, many years, I didn't see any Indians there. Only the Chinese. A few people don't go there. After I came here, I couldn't believe it. On Swanson Street, you can meet all kinds of people. People talking to themselves. I thought, wow. Not only if you are talking on your phone. Like some people, they didn't even have a phone. It's in their pocket. They got the thing on. It's like Fiji didn't know. And people are talking to themselves. And always the same thing. How are you there on the video chat with your friends in India or somewhere? Everyone's on the phone. So, you have the facility that Krishna gives you. Use that facility to serve Krishna. That is the idea. And this festival I went in Fiji, they had Kirtan Mela. We had Kirtan Mela. So every day from 6 o'clock till 9:30, they had different groups would sing. And half of the singers we had from Brisbane, from Sydney. We had some devotees from Melbourne also. Youths, and such good singers. Small kids like you all, and they play harmonium and mridanga so nicely. So we encourage the youths to participate in singing. And as soon as they sing, we had all these young girls, they'll be dancing, big party on the side. It's amazing how you mold your life from young age to become Krishna conscious. So we encourage them from childhood to practice Krishna consciousness, and it's very attractive. Instead of young boys and girls they're running around after sense gratification in the street, staying up late, they can practice Krishna consciousness. It's more attractive. They can learn a musical instrument. And they play harmonium, mridanga so good, very attractive. And so this is what we train from young age to become Vaishnava, Brahmanas, to become a good person, to become first-class devotees of Krishna. So demons and devotees, these two always exist. But we have to train our people, our children, our families, our devotees around us to become good devotees so we can give up that demoniac character in us. Because in Kali Yuga, we are not only devotees, but also we have a bad side, where we have bad characters. So good and bad inside of us. That's the idea. So it's not like hundreds of years ago and Satya Yuga, other yugas, they're only demons. We have demons today. So the nectar that we're looking for, that nectar is the holy name. That nectar is the pusharam offered to Krishna. Not only when you're churning, the nectar comes. When Prahlad Maharaj was given poison to eat, he said, first I must offer to Krishna, then I'll have it. Isn't it? He says, just eat! He said, no, my dear demanding father, I first must offer to Krishna. Even the food he was given mixed with poison. That's how Krishna conscious he was. And when he ate it, there's no longer poison. He ate prasadam. He took prasadam. Actually, we're not even supposed to say, I will eat. They say, I will honor it. That's the respect. Let's go to the temple and eat prasadam. No, we don't. In the south of India, when they honor the prasadam offered to Krishna, they have a system. They chant the mantra, take 1 grain of rice, and they put it in their mouth without touching the teeth. So you're not supposed to chew it, right? And you're crunching it. Of course, it's not hard. That rice should go down your throat, and you say the prayers that offer to your soul. That's the respect. And I remember even my father, he was not a devotee. So when he sat down, he used to take the water on the palm of his hand, and you say some mantra and then put the water around the plate, sprinkle over the food, whatever the food was. But he had this idea that it should be offered to God, maybe demigod. At least they had this idea of offering. And I remember we would light fire. And in India, in the villages, you can, something like peanuts or chickpea, we throw it in the fire. And at the end, you beat the fire and take it out, they're like roasted. So before we ate it, we throw some in the air. So this is for Shiva, this is for Ganesh. And we just throw it in the air over our head. I don't know if they ate it like that. You don't offer it. So here, But we had this idea of offering because we knew we're just small kids, but we knew that it should be given to someone. It should be offered. That there is someone that exists in the universe. That they should have it first before you eat it. That's our culture, and we're thankful. We're thankful. So that's the idea of understanding that everything belongs to Krishna. And that's why Prabhupada is mentioning here, the demoniac people, the demoniac nature, that they don't care. They want it all for themselves. Everything you see in this world today, in the material world, it's all designed for yourself. Nobody wants to share it. And when you share with someone, it's much more pleasure than taking for yourself. Actually, at least that's my attitude. When you give someone something, they just smile at you. They didn't give you anything back. But that happiness is very subtle happiness. Sukha. spiritual, very touched to the heart. That's why we emphasize of giving the ultimate gift is that gift of love of God, gift of Krishna consciousness, the gift of knowledge. If you give someone some knowledge, spiritual teachings, that's very satisfying than anything you can have, physical things, material things. I remember we went on a boat trip. Just now we had a boat trip in Fiji also, where we hired a boat and an island, so beautiful. You can put your feet in the water, and the fish will come to your feet. So we all had chapatis and bread, and we were feeding them. They're all over us, and they're all different colored fish. And the island we went to, you can see from a distance the whole island, and it's all sand. The sand is so white, the sun is shining on it, and it's glittering. So amazing. Even in this world, you can go to places, it's like heavenly planet. So I was telling the devotees, I came from Melbourne, and we have such good prasadam there, that the devotees, they never talk about going back to Godhead, because it's so good here. So I was talking to them that even here in this world, that they have these places are so beautiful. So when he got off the boat, everywhere you see is coral, like sand and stones are all very colored. So amazing. And we got off, we had kirtan there on the island, and we were playing like football and volleyball, different things like that. And they came with papaya. This papaya was this size, almost you can see through. So amazing papaya. I was eating a kg of papaya every day. Somebody walked past my body, they can smell the papaya. It was so good papaya. And I came here, I'm a cook here, and somebody donated box of papaya. They're sitting there for months. It was going off. You can smell it when it's off. Before that, it wasn't smelly. That's the Australian papaya. And they have pineapple, or small, this size pineapple. So they cut the pineapple. When they cut the pineapple, there's this one type of fly. I don't know where they came from. They just come from somewhere when they smell the pineapple. They look like purple color. They go zzz, they come for pineapple. Yeah, so because it has so much fragrance and there's no chemical in it. And people talk about going to heavenly planet, and there's heavenly planets right here. And the sand, if you pick up the sand in your hand, it will glitter with the sunshine, like holding gold. So clean. And the devotee says there is a place, they say the Kaliya lives. Kaliya serpent? They left Vrindavan, and Prabhupada said there's Kaliya serpent living in Fiji. So I said, I want to see the Kaliya serpent. They said it's not easy to see them, because they live in some of the mountains near the sea. They don't come out. The locals, they believe in this sometimes the sound in the mountains, and this Kaliya is making noise or something. They believe they worship the snakes. And so there's a mountain nearby there, and the mud under there it's hot. So we went there. You can have a mud bath, So me and Ganesh Samudra and Kala Sambhara from New Zealand and Jaya Sachi, we all went to this mud bath. I posted it, and you can take the mud out of the ground. It's boiling. They said it's connected to where the Kaliya lives. So it's like a very dark. It's almost like a color of Kaliya. So it's Mahaprasadam. So we had mud all over us, and they have these different pools. The water is all coming from the ground. So we were having coconut from the tree, and in a mud bath, sitting in the pools. And so, what do you call this? That's heavenly planet. If you want those kind of things in Australia, you have to pay big money for it. They said they give you a little bit of mud like this in a cup. You're paying fortune for it. So we had these buckets of mud. You put it around and you sit in the mud bath pool and you're drinking coconut. They even have ice cream. They made from right there, they have cows. So, we think of going to heavenly planets and we're fighting over nectar. You can get nectar here. And devotees are detached from it. So much opulence. Pineapple, you can lie in it. Papaya, you can make papaya juice, you can take bath in it. You can make a swimming pool of papaya juice. And papaya is falling from the tree. No one's picking them up. Coconut trees everywhere. A devotee drove me to, last year I went to Fiji, so this devotee said, let's go to see his brother. And I wanted to see some other devotees. So we stopped to his brother's house. They have so much land, they have this beautiful house, and coconut trees everywhere. And so he had this guava tree. The guava was so white color, almost glittering. So I said, pick up all the guavas and we'll offer to Gaurnitai. So we came from the city. So he picked up all the guavas for his deity. So this guy, he climbed the coconut tree. And he picked 20 coconuts with his bare hand. He was just plucking them, big ones. I drank 2 coconut. Water is like, they said coconut water, if coconut tree is grown more inland, more sweeter. Because if near the sea, it's less sweet, for some reason. Because the sour is from the sea. So his house is way inland. And they were so sweet. I felt like, what am I going back to Melbourne for? I'm going to stay here. But this is what happens. We become attached to material things. And those people, they are not attached to it. These coconuts are falling from the tree. Half of the coconut that came off the tree, they're on the ground. And they don't even care. They say, take as much as you want. So, there is so much abundance. Spiritual abundance, material abundance is different. Because spiritual things is the knowledge. Still, people have to suffer. People have to die. People have to get old age. Even in these opulent places. Isn't it? And yet, all those people in Fiji, they say, there's 2 things in their mind. They say they want to go to New Zealand or they want to come to Australia. I told them, you can't get papaya like here in Australia or pineapple. And so, no one in this world are happy. People here, they want to go to a better place. From there people want to come here. Just last night, I saw in the news the supermarket like Coles and the Woolworth, they're ripping off everyone. They put the price right up. So that the government, the people, they're taking them to the court. And they're talking about inflation. The inflation is because they're jacking up the price in the supermarket. All these things. So this is the material world. We have so much, but still the tendency to cheat others, the tendency to corrupt. So that's why here, the demons, they want to take for themselves. But the demigods, their character is different from demons. They want to share with others. Of course, not with demons. Because if they had the nectar, then they're going to get better, so they'll hurt others. So, if you give the nectar of the knowledge, Jnana Dipena Bhasvata, Krishna says the knowledge is the highest, because when you have the knowledge, then you know that everything belongs to Krishna. You will not fight over anything. Because it doesn't belong to us. Everything is Krishna's. And that way, there is no quarrel. And Prabhupada says here, everyone is fighting. Each country fighting, families are fighting for material things. But here, if you're a devotee, they're satisfied. Devotees are satisfied. When I first joined the Hare Krishna movement, there's less food to eat. We are fighting to steal food, Prasharam is stealing. But now nobody steals because there's enough. We're satisfied. Where's the need to steal? Where's the need to fight? Everything is provided by Krishna. The most important thing is your own body. When your body is functioning, you're healthy, the food that you eat, you're digesting it. That's by the mercy of Krishna. Even if you take so much for yourself, still, you have to die one day. All this thing will remain here. You can't take it with you. That we are attached to. You can have anything material here. It will all remain here because it belongs to be here. It's not yours. That's the principle of knowledge. So when I was in Fiji, like I was thinking, it's so opulent. But it's really hot. So hot. Like if you stay in the sun, like Harinam, we went Harinam, every day there's Harinam. Like, wow, so hot. Because you ate pineapple and papaya, and it feels good. And but they have a sugarcane field everywhere, but they don't have sugarcane juice, like in India. They send it to all the factory. They make gur and make sugar. In India, you go to India, they have sugarcane juice everywhere. And they're all Indian people. They're half Indian, half Western, so it's really good. And so we had kirtans, amazing kirtans, Harinam. And so we had the last day before the festival ends, and so they had three kirtan leaders, Trivikram from New Zealand, Kalasambar from New Zealand, and me. Three of us who shared 3 hours. Amazing kirtan. And everyone can bring whatever they have, gong, wampers, and beagles, and whatever. Yes. And you can suddenly last for half an hour. So you have to have a cover because the sun was so strong. And so there is enjoyment in this world, but at the same time, also there's suffering. It's not soothing. So we talk about that the heavenly planet in the spiritual world, it's very soothing. Perfect in every way for enjoyment. And like in Vrindavan, Krishna's time, when Krishna was here, they said the four, the four seasons, their personalities. They make the seasons perfect for Krishna's being there. They are demigods. They make the season very suitable for Krishna's pleasure. So now the weather is so full on. It's because everyone is killing animals, everyone is creating sinful activity. So the demigods are not happy. They make the weather very hot, very cold, and you suffer, you guys. You're killing animals. So they make us suffer. So there's enjoyment and suffering in this world. There's both are here. So we have to be careful that we don't become too attracted to enjoyment that's available. This is all we have for preaching. Prabhupada said, I'm traveling in the first class, but I'm taking this facility to preach Krishna consciousness. I'm not taking for myself. This is like Gopal Krishna Maharaj just now, he passed away. He said, he had so much wealth, disciples, so much money, so many temples, but he didn't take anything for himself. He said the only thing he had is his watch, somebody said, that Prabhupada gave him, right? Like that. Our real wealth is what Krishna gave us, it's Prabhupada gave us. It's chanting Hare Krishna to associate devotees. We can take all these things and use it in Krishna's service. You see, I hear outside the temple, and everybody has big cars. I didn't see any bula cart there, or horse cart, tanga, or bula cart. Everyone's coming here when your fancy car. Maybe Mataji will say, where's my BMW? Whatever facility we have, we use in serving Krishna. And then we walk down the road, we say, oh, this house is so good. I wish I had that house. It's a better house than that house. These are all temptations of Maya. We don't become attached to these things. Devotees are very detached. The real wealth of a devotee is Krishna consciousness that we are attracted to. We have the brahmacharis who wear saffron. That's the emblem, that's the principle of renunciation. You wearing white doesn't mean you can enjoy as much as you want. You can't, even if you want to. You're brahmachari in the white. I'm half, see? Saffron here. So it's not in your dress only, it's in your consciousness. How you become Krishna conscious in your consciousness. How you accept Krishna consciousness. How you understand the philosophy. Then you know, these things are material things. That our real wealth is satisfying Krishna, is to please Krishna. You see, like Matajis, all of you Matajis, doesn't mean you come in here, you wear your best clothes and put a lot of dressing. That's all good for pleasure of Krishna. Prabhupada wanted the ladies to wear nice dress. So preaching. So we had, when I first came to Australia, we had half of the brahmacharis, we had 60 brahmacharis in Sydney, 60. Here we have 6 brahmacharis here. And other 60s were Maharajis, all young age. Like I came here when I was 19. So everyone was like, hey, Hare Bol, Hare Bol. Like when you had kirtan, it was just ecstatic because everyone is so young, full of energy. So we used to, like in the summertime in Sydney, we had all this huge kirtan and we swapped the area because the ground was sweaty. And we'd be sliding on the floor, one side to the other. You know, when you see us sliding, that's I learned from the devotees, how to slide one side to the other. So you take your socks off, sliding. So much energy to serve Krishna. So Prabhupada said, like, some people, they just wear dark, cover the face, everything is dark. You're meant to wear jewelry, so be attractive, so when you come for festival, so you look good for Krishna's pleasure. So we had these 2 groups, so we do Sankirtan, and the Maharajis, they are, and the men, so there's competition. Who can bring in more money? Who can sell more books? So, you know, if you dress up, you talk nicely, people are attracted to your character. The idea behind of our activities is to satisfy Krishna. If we have another motive, then it becomes material. Then it's not spiritual anymore. It's become mundane. So your idea behind our attitude of our practicing Krishna consciousness, how we can please our Guru, how we can please Krishna. Otherwise they'll be fighting among ourselves, like the Sura and Asura for the nectar. Sometimes I take prasadam from devotees' plate purposely to see what your reaction is going to be. So, why did you take it? I'm holding it in my left hand. They don't know. I've got it here. You know, I'll tell you, on Radhastami, the day before I went to Fiji, they had these ladus, remember that? Bundi ladus. They were really big ones, remember that? That was meant for Radha Ballava offering. And so, I was so busy, I didn't get any of it. And so, I went to the kitchen around 1:30, when everyone was already taking prasadam. And those big ladus were gone. They disappeared really quick. You know, people take it home and stuff. So I was calling it, where's those cannon? They look like cannon, you know, ladus, huge, because they're specially made for offering. And so, I went in the kitchen around 1:30, and I walked into where they wash the deity plate. There was one of Mataji's washing deity plate. And she said to me, look down there, that's for you. There was 2 huge ladus there. They were disappeared. And they're there too. So I said, wow, I was looking for that. So I took it straight away. And this one devotee called me around 10 o'clock in the morning. He said, can you save me prasadam? Because I'm not going to be able to come, I'm working. So he will come at 5 o'clock. So I gave one of that laddu, put in the box along with other prasadam. And he was really happy. And there was another one, 2 left. So there was one Mataji, I never saw her before. And she said, oh, can I help you? I want to clean this, clean that. I said, yeah, you can cut this, you can do this. So I was very happy with her. So I gave the other one to her. She said, wow, thank you. I told her, this is a special laddu. This was offered to Radha Balva. You're really lucky. So I didn't get any of it. So next day I was going to Fiji with Jai Sachi, one of the devotees. So I was thinking, I wish I could have that laddu a little bit. Because I was having prasadam there at the airport. Because some of the devotees packed prasadam for me to eat at the airport. Roti, samosa, and different things. And he said, guess what? I have this laddu, some of that laddu. He had in his bag. And he took it out and he gave me a whole bunch, that laddu, he broken off from the big laddu. He said, I kept it for Fijian devotees. So there you go. So, I gave it away, but Krishna will always know that He will make sure He will always give you. So that's nectar. That's demigods are fighting and the demons are fighting. That laddu is nectar. So we don't have to fight for it. Krishna will give you if you deserve it. I gave it away, but Krishna gave it back to me, a little bit. So I put that story in the Facebook, and 100 people were saying, wow, you have any more story like that? And it's miracle, what happens to the life of a devotee. It's not like we read from the Bhagavatam, it happened Satya Yuga. It's happening now. Miracles happening right now, in our moment. Every life of a devotee is a miracle. Because our life story is connected to Krishna. So it's become very mystical. This Kaliya serpent, I was talking to the devotees in Fiji. Like all of you, Hanuman, when you talk about Lord Ram, they say the Hanuman comes to sit in the audience and listen to the stories of Ram as a disguise, as somebody. So when you talk about Ram, maybe demigods come and watch as they're sitting here. So I was talking to them, maybe Kaliya serpent, maybe some of those devotees in disguise. Never know. So these things happened Satya Yuga, millions of years ago. But it's happening right now. We are creating a history for future. ISKCON is a history. Christianity, it took 2,000, 3,000 years to establish themselves. And Jesus had to sacrifice His life. They crucified Him. We didn't crucify our body. And it's only 50 years. Now Hare Krishna movement is rapidly expanding like anything, isn't it? Just 50 years and Hare Krishna is a family word. Hey, Hare Krishna, Hare Bol, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Right? This is the mercy of Prabhupada. So the holy name, the Krishna consciousness, going Harinam in the street, distributing books, cooking for Krishna, doing services, these are all nectar, this Amrita. We have to bathe in the Amrita, the nectar that the demigods and the demons are fighting for. The nectar is here. There's nectar in the Charnamita, the nectar in the halava, that nectar in Krishna Prasadam. We can just take a little bit and be satisfied because it's just so satisfying. We don't need to eat so much. You have to eat a plate full of prasadam, be satisfied. But actually, if you take a little bit of it, it's satisfying because the nectar, it's surcharged in it, fully in it. You just have to take a drop of it. One drop, like poison. One drop of poison can kill you, right? You don't have to have the full thing. So that poison of Krishna consciousness, in one drop of nectar, it penetrates through your consciousness and purify our heart. Why these stories are there? what demigod fighting over nectar, who cares? But there is a meaning behind. That meaning is that the Amrita of the holy name, the Amrita of chanting Hare Krishna, the Amrita of Prasharam, it's there. Even right now, you can embrace that Krishna consciousness by experiencing that. We don't have to fight over it. Be satisfied. But if you are here looking for something else other than that nectar of the holy name, other than spiritual Krishna consciousness, other than love of God, material things, then there's going to be an issue. We cannot mix material things with spiritual things. Our sole purpose of being here is to please Krishna, is to please Guru. If you have some other things in your mind, other agenda, other purpose, then there's going to be conflict. We create the conflict. It's not there. It's all perfect. Prabhupada gave us, it's all perfect. Isn't it? Okay, any questions? I'll read this translation. O king, a quarrel then arose among the demons over who would get the nectar first. Each of them said, "You cannot drink it first. I must drink it first. Me first, not you." So they are fighting over. And this is a very common thing. We do it too. So you have to remember these stories are there so we can understand that we don't make the same mistake. It's all for Krishna's pleasure. And if you put Krishna in the center, there's no problem. Sab kuch Bhagwan ka hai, it's all for Krishna's pleasure. Bhagwan is God's. In the center of the family, center of the society, in the center of any organization, you put Krishna in the middle. He is the source of everything. Then everything becomes successful, like it says here. Yeah? And then the preaching of the Krishna consciousness movement will be successful. Otherwise, we're going to fight among ourselves. That's why Prabhupada said, this is my area, your area, my temple, your temple. It's all Krishna's, it's all Prabhupada's. He worked for it. We're here to expand it, to maintain it. So at least those who are in it are happy that we can pursue this Krishna consciousness happily. See, it's not like it's my area, your area. It's all Krishna's. When you share it, it becomes very joyful. Even if you think it's my family, my children, it's not yours. Before you're married, you didn't have them. Where they come from? Who created it? It's not that the factory, somebody's making kids there. So your parents, all coming from Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Krishna created it. And at the time of death, you're not going to have any of that. Everybody has to leave. Everything we have here, we won't be able to take anything with us. It's all Krishna's, ultimately. The whole universe will be destroyed, dissolution, at the end. So Krishna created it, He destroyed it. He's not attached to it. But we live on, the soul live on. That is the principle, that's the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. You have to remember, not we are here just going on every day with our life, come to program is like a fashion. No, we have to understand why we're doing these things. What's the underline behind these things? You go home with this knowledge and practice it. How we can be detached from all this. It's not an artificial thing. You have the understanding, deeper understanding that it actually belongs to Krishna. And He will give you if you use in His service, whatever you need. You don't need to fight for it. No need to fight. You know, people are fighting over country. It was already here. If a piece of rock is not written on it, Australia, a rock is already there. Before you're born, it was there. After you die, it will be there. It's not ours. We put a name on it, a name tag. It's mine from today. No, you will die, it will be still here. Your money, your home, everything that you work for, you'll be here, isn't it? So that is the underlying principle of Krishna consciousness. Any questions?
As you said, we have to keep drinking this nectar. But in order to do that, how do we also keep ourselves away from all this gossip which is happening, or we are not getting more temples, some blasphemy of other devotees? And sometimes you see even the people who are doing a lot of service in the temple, very senior people, sometimes we get to hear these things from them as well. So whom do we associate with? How do you keep yourself away from all this gossip which is happening around you?
Yeah, this is a very common thing. Wherever there is any organization, there's always going to be some sort of that kind of issues that would come up. Just stay away, that's all. It's easy. Like I've been in the Hare Krishna movement now from my childhood, and I've seen so many things back and forth. But that's not my business. I'm here to please Prabhupada, I'm here to please Krishna. We just see what is our goal. You get involved with these things, then you get bogged down, you drag down. So you want to see what is the thing that's going to make us Krishna conscious, and then just and focus on that. Don't drag yourself down. So you have to be strong with yourself. But if you're looking for that, that's there. Just like in this world, there is good place, bad place. You can go wherever you want. That's up to you. You can go in those areas that is forbidden. But you want to, some people like to go there and have a look around, check it out. But then they get involved. That's Maya. So even in temple, we have our services. Observe in Krishna consciousness, chant Hare Krishna, comes to the deities, cook, do whatever you have to do, that's all. Leave the rest. Everybody has their duty, they'll manage it. Let them up to them. Let that up to them to decide. We're not all managers. They have their duty, so we have our duty. Everyone has their duty. But if we take into our own hand everything, then it's like there's policemen. We're not policemen. Their job is to protect, there's government, everybody has their allocated duties. So if we think, okay, well, like you, just stay away. That's what I was saying, Kayamana Bhakya. You associate devotees, you hear about Krishna, I will sing Krishna, talk about Krishna. Don't use the senses for other things. Stay away from it. If you're sincere, serious, then you want to only do things that are pleasing Krishna. That's that favorable, unfavorable. Reject the unfavorable, accept the favorable. So even here, there can be a problem, but then we stay from it. That's how I see it. People talking, this, that, I'm in the kitchen and cooking. There are all kinds of things going on. I just observe myself in cooking. That's my duty, my service. That's not my job to get into all those things. But if somebody wants to, they do it. But like I said, we should do what we meant to do. It's not our job to do what not we are meant to do. Policeman has his job. And then the government and the ministers and different people doing different things. Everyone has their duty. It's not our business is to linger with others' business. Then we become bogged down. Then we are dragged from our Krishna consciousness. Just like mind, when you're chanting, the mind will go everywhere. You have to bring the mind back, put it on the holy name. That's how it works. So stay away from things that is going to make us un-Krishna conscious. Stay Krishna conscious by being in the right association who can inspire us in Krishna consciousness, who can enlighten us, who can help us to progress. Simple, not difficult. Yeah.
Thank you, Guru.
Anybody else? Rajesh? How are you? School holiday, your kids are here, huh? Where's the other one? The boy. Yeah. See, like kids, they like to play, they want to hear. It's like that. We don't want to be like kids. We have to train our mind to do what we should do as an adult. We don't criticize the kids. They like to play, let them. But then, we should know what we are meant to do. That's why I ask you, So everyone's not going to sit here. But we sit, why we sit here? Because this is the knowledge we're sharing. And we want to, this is a training place. Temples is a training place. Like a hospital. We go to the hospital where you cure your disease. The temple is like spiritual hospital. We train our soul to become Krishna conscious. So we want to go where we can get that, even in a temple. Okay. Hare Krishna.